Hello friends, welcome to iExamB. This is Vidhika, Law Faculty at iExamB, and today in this video I am going to talk about an exam which every law graduate must have heard of, and at some point in their life, at some point in their graduation, they must have even thought about it, and that is the judiciary exam. This exam is the most prestigious exam after law graduation. Why is it that? Because as a judge, as a civil judge, you get the power to decide people's lives. While you decide the cases, you decide the suits, here you have a tendency to make an impact on the people's lives and bring effective change in the society, obviously within the dimensions of the law. In our country, the civil judge junior division exam is conducted at the state level. Every state conducts judiciary exams for recruitment of civil judges in their own states. So at present, we have around 20 plus judicial exams being conducted in our country. The most important thing in this exam is no experience is required. Right after your law, right after your LLB, you can directly clear this exam and be appointed at a very prestigious position as a civil judge. So, in the eligibility and the exam pattern, the first thing is the age. You should be between the age of 21 to 35 years. However, this age limit varies as per the state. So, in Delhi, it is 32 years. In Haryana, it is 42 years. In some of the states, it is 36 and also beginning from 22 or 23. So, this depends upon state to state, and you will have to go through the recruitment notification if you want to appear for that state. In education qualification, only LLB is required. A bachelor degree in law is required from a recognized university. There is no experience required. And in the exam pattern, you will have a prelims, a mains, and interview. Mains at every state level is a descriptive paper, and prelims is an objective paper. The syllabus may vary little bit from state to state. Let's start with the first state, that is Haryana. In Haryana, this exam is conducted as Haryana Civil Services Judicial Branch Exam. The past recruitment was conducted about a few months back and it is still going on. And it is expected that this year the recruitment of Haryana Judicial Services may come in the mid of about in August or September. Let's have a look at the pattern. As I have mentioned, the prelims is always objective. In Haryana Judicial Services, there are 125 questions of 4 marks each, and there is negative marking present. The mains is descriptive, and in mains there are 5 papers. Civil law 1 of 200 marks, civil law 2 of 200 marks, criminal law of 200 marks, then there is English of 200 marks and Hindi of 100 marks. Let's have a look at the syllabus briefly. The objective type questions with multiple choice answers for the preliminary examination shall be from the syllabus for the mains exam, and the syllabus for mains exam is given below. In paper 1, Code of Civil Procedure, Punjab Courts Act, Indian Contract Act, Indian Partnership Act, Sales of Goods Act, Specific Relief Act, Indian Evidence, Haryana Urban Rent Control Act. Then in paper 2, that is civil law 2, you will have Hindu law, Muhammadan law, customary law, law of registration and limitation. Then in criminal law, there is IPC, CRPC and evidence. Paper 4 is English, which will have essay, précis, words and phrases, comprehension, corrections. Paper 5 is Hindi. And this is your final, that is interview. The next one is Uttarakhand Judiciary. This is an active recruitment. The last day to fill the exam form has passed and the prelims exam is in March. Here also you will have a prelims which is objective. There will be 2 papers in prelims. Paper 1 is GK, in which there will be 50 questions of 50 marks, and paper 2 is law, which will have 150 questions of 150 marks and negative marking is present. The mains is descriptive, in which the first subject is the present day, that is your general knowledge relating to the legal affairs. It could be national and international as well. Then there is language of 100 marks. Then there is law paper 1 substantive law paper 2 evidence and procedure, law paper 3 revenue and criminal. If you look at its syllabus, in Uttarakhand Judiciary and Prelims, the first one is general knowledge and it will include day-to-day happenings around India and the world. You can read it out from the notification PDF as well. Part 2 will be law and it will have questions from Transfer of Properties Act, Hindu law, Muslim law, Evidence Act, Code of Civil Procedure, Code of Criminal Procedure and IPC. And when you move to the mains syllabus, you will see that In the present day, you will have what is happening in India and the world generally at the present day, particularly in the legal sphere and the power of expression in English. Then in the language paper, there will be translation from English to Hindi and from Hindi to English as well, and an English précis also. In paper one, which is substantive law, you will have questions from law of contract, law of partnership, law concerning casements and torts, law relating to transfer of property, equity specially applicable thereto, with special reference to law of trust and specific relief. Then there is Hindu law and Mohammedan law. When you look at law paper 2, you will have evidence and procedure. So here you will have Evidence Act, Criminal Procedure Code, Civil Procedure Code. And the third paper, Revenue and Criminal, includes UP Zamindari Abolition and Land Reforms Act and Indian Penal Code. The next state is Rajasthan Judiciary. This exam was also conducted within a span of few months before, and the number of vacancies for this year have also been announced. There are about 80 vacancies for this year. The notification is not yet out, but will soon come, probably by the mid of this year. So here you will have prelims, which is objective, in which there are 100 questions in the paper. 70 questions are from your law, 15 questions from English, and 15 questions from Hindi. In Rajasthan Judiciary, there is no negative marking present in the prelims. The mains is descriptive, and these are the papers that are present in mains. The first one is your law paper 1 and law paper 2, and the second one is language paper, in which paper 1 is Hindi and paper 2 is English essay. The last is interview, viva voice, as is present in all the exams. If you look at the syllabus for this exam, in law paper 1, these are the subjects from which the questions will come, and in law paper 2, you will have all the other acts which are mentioned below. Then the syllabus of language paper is also mentioned. The syllabus of Hindi essay will include all these topics, and from English essay, you will have questions from all these areas. The next one is Himachal Pradesh Judiciary. Now let's take a pause over here. From the past 3 state recruitment exams for judicial services, you must have seen one thing, that though the exam pattern is a bit different in all the states, yet the syllabus is somewhat common. There are many common topics, there are many common acts which are present in all the judicial exams, which we have discussed prior to this. So keeping that in mind, first of all, you should see which all state exams you should target. There are certain state exams which require knowledge of the local language. For example, as of now, Gujarat Judicial Services recruitment is active. But there in the means you will also have to give one Gujarati paper, in which there will be questions of translation from English to Gujarati or Gujarati to English. And similarly, there is one more active recruitment going on, that is of Manipur state. But again, here the knowledge of local language is required. So first of all, you should go through the state exams. You should see which all states you want to target, you are eligible for, and then start preparing from the common acts. Start preparing from the procedural laws, substantive laws, which are common for all the exams. Once you are done with those acts, then when the recruitment of any particular state gets near, then pick up the acts which are specially concerned with respect to that state. Obviously, there will be a slight difference in the kind of question pattern for each state, but more or less the content is common in all these states. More or less the type of questions is also common for all the common subjects. Now moving on to Himachal Pradesh Judiciary. Here also the prelims is objective, but there are 3 papers of 100 marks each of 1 hour duration. The mains is descriptive, and in this there will be 5 papers: Civil Law 1, Civil Law 2, Criminal Law, English and Hindi. Now if you look at the scheme of the exam, if you look at the syllabus, in the Himachal Pradesh Judiciary, the prelims exam has 3 papers. One on Civil Law 1, another on Civil Law 2, the third one on Criminal Law. And the syllabus of this is also given from the mains topics. In paper 1 Civil Law 1, these are the subjects: Civil Procedure Code, Indian Evidence Act, Stamp Act, Himachal Pradesh Courts Act, Specific Relief Act. In paper 2 you will have Indian Contract Act, Hindu Law, Limitation, Transfer of Property, Himachal Pradesh Urban Rent Control Act. And in paper 3 there is Criminal Law, IPC, CRPC, Negotiable Instrument, HP Excise Act, Wildlife Protection Act, Indian Forest Act. Then paper 4 is your English composition, and paper 5 is your Hindi language. So as I have already told you, whenever you start preparation, look at the common subjects: Civil Procedure Code, Criminal Procedure Code, Indian Penal Code, Indian Evidence Act. These should be on your tips. You should know the important case laws, the important sections. You should know the in and out and overall understanding of these subjects. Then there is Indian Contract Act, Specific Relief Act, Indian Partnership Act, Hindu and Muslim law, Transfer of Property Act, Law of Limitation, Law of Torts, Arbitration and Conciliation Act. This Arbitration and Conciliation Act is present in some of the states. Then there is Constitution. Now we have gone through the syllabus time and again. The Constitution subject is not mentioned in many of the mains exam, but there are questions in the prelims from this topic. Hence, it is very important and kind of basic of law. So this has to be done along with the other subject. In this video, as I have told you, we have discussed about few of the states. We have discussed only 4 states, and there are about exams for 20 plus states. It is very difficult to discuss all of them in a single video. And moreover, we have briefly discussed there are a lot of things that have to be kept in mind before we start preparation for any state judicial services. We should look at the previous year exam papers, we should look at the previous year cutoffs, the exam pattern, the type of questions that come in the prelims and the mains, and you can get all that information at iExamB's platform, provided, without proviso, has any section in law ended? So provided you mention your requirements in the Google form below. In the description below, you will find a Google form attached, and in that Google form, please fill your requirements. Please mention what do you need for your study, whether you need study material, whether you need classes, explanatory discussion classes, whether you need case laws list, practice questions, answer writing practice, what do you need, and which all states are you targeting, which all state detailed information do you require. All that you should fill in the Google form that is attached below. And then only one by one we will come up with videos related to those exams, those particular state judicial services exams. So suppose you mention that you are targeting Delhi Judicial Services exam and you need all the details with respect to this. I will make a separate video with respect to Delhi judicial exams and similarly for other states as well. And only you can provide all that information to me. Only you are the person who can tell me what are your requirements, what do you need, so that we can help you in your judicial services preparation. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you have any query, you can write to us at hello@iexamb.com. You can also call us on the number mentioned on the screen. Again, I'm mentioning don't forget to fill the Google form attached in the description below to let us know about your requirements. Thank you.